Hello friends, hi. Welcome to Best of Guru. And today we have Rakesh Paladugula with us, who is like the person with a disability, worked with Cognizant, DQ, and presently working with Adobe. Rakesh Paladugula plays a major role in society on advocating on disability by contributing his major role on web accessibility content through his blog called Maxability, and he is also a good speaker and also training. Like he provides trainings to in terms of accessibility and related many of the disability act and advocates like which is correct and which many things in accessibility. So let us introduce Rakesh. Hi Rakesh.
Hi, Soumya.
So Rakesh, we would like to hear about yourself from you, so that whatever I have just told is like okay, friend. But it would be great if you can tell us about more brief about yourself.
Sure. Thank you. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity through Best of Guru. So far, people have been seeing me as an IT professional in accessibility space. But if I have to rewind and go back 34, 35 years back when I was born in a remote place, a village in the state of Andhra Pradesh, a middle class family. My parents are technically, my father is a person who does business, it's a small scale business, and my mom is a homemaker. And I am the youngest one. I have an elder brother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we two are two family, happy family. Though my grandparents are from the agricultural background, none of my parents or me or my brother are into agriculture. But it's we are from by ancestors, as anyone from the coastal Andhra Pradesh have these agricultural background. That's how we are from the portion of remote parts of the country. So no surprise that I've been educated. All the schooling, college, everything has been in my village and around. Later, after completion of my college days, so I have been in Bangalore for a short computer course, and then was placed in an organization called Iridium Interactive in Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
And rest all, you see this 12, 13 years of career in IT industry, talking about advocating, doing accessibility, so on and so forth. So other part of my life is talk in Indian history. Any person will be into two parts of their life history, before marriage and after marriage. So I got married 5 years ago,
Okay.
and we have a 3-year-old now
Good. Mm-hmm.
by name Rutvik. I have my better half Madhuri. That's a small family.
Yes,
One
we are
family, one
happy
child,
to
happy
hear
family,
about
happy
your
child.
your little one. So it's like you were completely from a background of that, like your ancestors were into farmers, and then you turned into techie now, IT industry completely, and you also write blogs also and speaking trainings. So just wanted to know, apart from this, all your career, this is normal people whoever anyone can do. It's not something wrong or something, but you face lot of challenges because of the disability. So just wanted to know like what are the challenges you faced, and how you came out of that challenges, Rakesh.
That's a good question. And so, to start with, to be frank, I'm more an emotional person, more sensitive person at mind, at heart. So I was not born blind to. So there's nothing that I don't know. I haven't seen anything in my life. That's a different ball game. But when you know that color of Indian flag is tricolored, you know how the green looks like, how the white, how the Ashoka Chakra looks like, and all of a sudden you don't see them or anymore. You don't know what colors are. Something like a life ambition you have, you want to buy a car and you cannot feel the car, the beauty of it, the color of it. It's definitely challenging, but imagination is beyond the vision. All these are not big challenges, but definitely there are challenges in terms of the mindset of the people. The first problem that I could vaguely remember going back to my school age, when my vision is getting deteriorated, is that I am not able to see the blackboard. I have to request my teachers to give me the place in the first bench, or maybe have to sit before the benches on the floor so that I can read the blackboard, the mathematical equations, etc. Though it is challenging, it's more my friends, my teachers are so supportive to ensure that I get the right information at the right time. Apart from that, as I said before, it's more me be an emotional person. I felt more challenging when people take blindness as a granted thing, and you know how people in the villages call you rather than your name. Few of those people who probably out of ignorance or maybe other reasons, they call you with the disability that you have. Good that in the RPD Act now there are a lot of amendments that has come in to talk about the emotional and psychological things that were not spoken or not out there before. I would say those are the basic challenges. At least I feel the other things like the you say movement to moving from one place to another, or the digital technology challenges, all those can be overcome some way or the other. But the bigger challenge in the society, in the country like India, where rural places play a vital role, is the emotional and psychological challenges. If someone calls you by your disability and you feel psychologically depressed,
Yeah, correct.
nothing else that you can do. The emotional well-being is gone, and the rest of things are not in place if you are emotionally or fit of your mind.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. The society has to be changed. I think a lot of things now people are changing, but somewhere we still, I feel like somewhere still it is going on. That has to be changed.
Yes.
We'll see how maybe some disability act or something will change, or people mindset will change in terms of the now latest
Definitely,
internet or
because
something.
the law, as I said, there's changes in RPD Act, but it's not as stringent as any other act. I don't know politically if I can talk about this or not, but there has been a lot of change in the people mindset when the SC/ST atrocity cases have been increased or laws has been changed. Now anyone is scared to call a person by his caste or creed, because the law is so strong.
Correct,
And
yes.
I feel even if the disability law also is that strong, anyone will be scared to call someone by their disability.
Yeah,
That's what
seriously,
I'm
yes.
going to I want to see in my, at least in my lifetime.
Hopefully, we will also see something that kind of things. Yes. Can I know like your how your career started and your career story? I was like reading your Facebook story last week. So can we just have your how your career has started, Rakesh?
Surely, yeah. So that
It was
Facebook
really
post I have
nice,
sent.
inspiring story when
Uh,
I was reading that one. How you started up your 2008 journey in terms of your career. So I just wanted to know viewers also about that, please.
yeah, sure. So as I said, I have started after my graduation in 2007. I've
Mm-hmm.
been working few days, a few months rather, as a English trainer, but that's not what I am planned to do. That
Mm-hmm.
is not something I want to do. Then with that, I have been in Bangalore for a training on screen reading software in an
Mm-hmm.
organization called Enable India. So the beauty of Enable India is that they train people and also show the possibility of employment.
Mm-hmm.
Though they don't place you in a position, but they will give you an opportunity to go and crack an interview. And if you're good at interview, you'll be placed. So in that context, I got two interviews done in a week, and one is to be a HR in a HR consulting company,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is to join a IT company as an end user for accessibility testing. Me
Okay.
being blind, people, I mean, the organization thought that I can do an accessibility testing better than a sighted person can do. And these are the two interviews that I have given, and both of them eventually I got to crack both of them. And this HR company asked me to wait for a month and a half or so, while the other IT company asked me to join the next week. By chance,
Mm-hmm.
not definitely by choice, I got this opportunity and I joined this company called Iridium Interactive. So
Okay.
yeah, so as you saw in the Facebook post that day, I vaguely remember it was on July 3rd or July 4th on
Mm-hmm.
2008 when I came to Hyderabad. Perhaps it's the first time I've been there in Hyderabad. If I remember, maybe if I have come for some relatives' place or not doesn't really matter. But this was a really different journey, different plan altogether, and so I can partially see when I was just came to join the Iridium Interactive. So I got down on Secunderabad station. So you would have seen in Telugu movies Gautami Express and Godavari. These are the top trains that we generally see. So I got down from the train, standing on the platform, staring at people going and coming, the busy environment there. As I said, I was in a village. It was so calm and quiet. You don't see people honking, people running this that way. It's all the people around you. But this was a new place, new platform, new city, and I don't know anyone else. I think if my friend don't come to pick me up, I don't know where to go. That kind of a position. So staring at.
Okay.
So I just that's how I joined the first company, Iridium Interactive. It's based out of the Banjara Hills in Hyderabad. So that was there for 1.5 years. So technically, I was asked to test for accessibility as a end user. So I was given JAWS, I was given a website to test, and it's all that I have to tap, see whether it is reading perfectly or not. Whatever I tell that it is working, they say it's working. If I say it's not working, it's not working. So as simple as that, and it's developers who have to go check why is it not reading in the order, why is it not reading as expected, and they have to fix that. That's my job. And you could remember 2007-8 was a peak recession, and good that I haven't lost my job even in that recession. Luckily, I have enough work to do, and so that was the learning in terms of accessibility. It was WCAG 1.0. When I started my career, later in the year WCAG 2.0 came in, but not many companies have adapted the new accessibility standards. So I got a chance to read the letter and spirit of WCAG 2.0 and adapt them parallelly, testing my day job and also learning a bit of HTML and other web technologies to ensure that what I am reading on the guidelines are in fact technically correct, or I can experience firsthand what's written there. So that's how the career started, and later after 1.5 years of being at Iridium, then so Cognizant is my second home kind of a thing. I was there for 6 years. So that was a wonderful and really great journey in Cognizant. 6 years. So I was a contractor, then got 3 promotions up there, and then I got a visa to travel within the span of 5.5 years odd. So that was a great journey and wonderful learning all this duration. Yeah, I know.
Good.
Later, I've been in DQ as a principal consultant, and this is my 4th company at Adobe. At least I'm not planning to move anywhere else in the near future.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Nice. This is seriously like your growth. Your graph of your growth was growing. Nice to see that one. So just Rakesh wanted to check, like, apart from your job and accessibility, your career. Like, I heard you also write blog. So can we just know about something about your blog?
So I'll just let you know how this blog has been started. So Maxability, now people started asking me how is Maxability, and people are not caring how am I. No one, after meeting friends after 3-4 years, people are asking me. They're not asking me how are you. They're asking how is Maxability.
Wow,
so
good.
This is because of 8-9 years or even more continuous effort. But before that, let me tell you why I have to start this Maxability. So in 2011, we had attempted a global accessibility. So there's an organization called Nobility. Nobility does this competition called OpenAIR, Open Accessibility Internet Rally. I was in Cognizant, and I was leading a small team of 5 people. We all of us have attempted this OpenAIR as part of Cognizant, and we have big competitors like the IBMers, and we have Dell, and people independently formed groups, and it was like global competition. And the effort that we've put in, we won the first prize, and we named that team as Maxability, as we had to give a name for our team. We named it as Maxability, and I felt like sentimentally something this name have succeeded me and given me a recognition globally, and I thought, why don't I put the same name to my blog? I was writing blogs even at that point in time, but it was some vague name, just whatever I learned, I was writing on that. So
Mhm.
people say, if you remember from our school days, you read 10 times, probably you don't remember, but you write once, you remember that. So that's why I started writing them. Thought
Okay.
writing somewhere else, if I write on internet, on a blog, maybe a lot of people will be benefited out of it. That's how I started Maxability. Whatever I do, maybe I take time to start, but once I start, I never feel like stopping it. Now, Maxability is becoming overwhelming for me, but because I started, I don't want to stop it. I was doing 4 blogs a month initially, and now we're doing 2 to 3 blogs a month. But
Wow,
still,
good.
learning about a new topic, writing about it, letting people know what it is, advocating about accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
it's become my another concern and another job in my day life.
Wow, nice. Okay, so this I can count this as your free time engagement or something apart from your job writing blog, or do you have anything else also? Your free time
Yeah, I mean,
engagement.
until, until 4 years back, Maxability and my day job are the only two things I am really bothered about. But since I have a 3-year-old, so I
Mm-hmm.
spend time with him
Good. Wow.
at least an hour a day.
Wow.
So I can't resist without seeing him, playing with him for some time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something I cherish
Good.
doing.
Nice. So now, like, apart from your job and everything, you are even a family man also. Looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Okay. Can we have, like, few of words or the sentences about your speaking? I know that you speak lot of events, and you would write few of the papers also, presentations. So how are you managing,
Yeah.
Rakesh, for your travel or any of the things abroad
See, it's
travels?
a wonderful life to have to be in accessibility, because the beauty of accessibility is that very few people are. If I remember in 2008 when I started my career, I know only 5 or 6 people in India who do accessibility as their day job, and
Mm-hmm.
now so we run this WhatsApp group of accessibility consultants, and around 200 odd people we know who are doing accessibility, and I'm sure there are more than that. But on a 130 crore India, 200 is nothing. It's not one kind of a percentage. So that also gives us an opportunity to advocate about, speak about, write white papers, do presentations about accessibility. And being in this industry for 12, 13 years, people recognize you because of, say, Maxability, or because of the organization that you work with,
Mm-hmm.
organizations that you have worked with in the past,
Correct.
the network that you have. People ask you to talk about accessibility, and that's an opportunity for us to read more, understand more, present to people. Obviously, if we learn for ourselves, we maybe will be careless. But when you have to speak for people, when you have to speak on a topic, you don't want to make mistakes. You will learn thoroughly, perfectly. And
Okay.
that's the one beauty of being in accessibility. You get opportunities to speak. That's one side, it's a learning, and the other side, you can improve your communication skills, speaking skills, and every day you become the better version of yourselves. As you asked me, I remember my first presentation on accessibility in TechShare India conference, I believe in 2012. I believe it's in 2012.
Okay.
And since then, I've been presenting most biggest accessibility conference and accessibility and assistive technology conference. So I've been speaking on various for non-profit organizations, for many organizations who are adopting accessibility. Me being a person with disability, people also call me to talk about the challenges about disability. How does it, being a disabled person with disability, how the society is treating, all this comes into picture. And definitely in the situation of COVID, it even increased. In last 5 6 months, I have been speaking in 6 different engagements that
Mm-hmm.
start from NGOs, like we have here in Giftable, and international NGO, ICRC, the Red
Mm-hmm.
Cross, International Red Cross. And I have spoken for a couple of product companies there who want to adopt accessibility into their project life cycles. So these are giving us an opportunity to speak about accessibility and also present papers in different forums.
Wow, good. Rakesh, can I know what is your success mantra? In
So
terms of, like, I
I'll
know
say
you would have faced lot of failures, a lot of words you would have listened because of the disability, like you told in schooling and other things, people in the society. So what made you so much successful now? And so just wanted to know viewers also about that.
so one thing definitely I tell people when they talk about success is you cannot even pronounce the word success without you. So just
Mm-hmm.
try removing the letter U from the word success and you cannot even pronounce the word. So there is no success without you as a person. Secondly, as you said, it's more, I feel, if someone challenges me or someone says that you cannot do it, that is where I start doing it. And when you succeed in something which people says you cannot do, that is the biggest achievement, and you don't get that happiness elsewhere. To
Mm-hmm.
achieve that success, at least maybe I don't see any mantra for it, but I would say my perception or what I do is the hard work, definitely, and determination of doing something.
Okay.
Third, more importantly, is the consistency of doing things.
Wow, good.
I know a lot of people are hard workers, people who want to be successful in life, but the challenges that they have in the life because of various reasons, they might not be able to be consistently doing things. So because
Mm-hmm.
you have asked me how is maxability or talk about maxability, so I don't know you 6 years back, but my maxability is even before that. So because I'm writing blogs, doing the maxability updates consistently for 10 years now, it is
Mm-hmm.
alive. And after 6 years you came to know, and even 12 after 10 years or 12 years, people are still able to go browse and see maxability articles. So it's consistently doing something. People will have confidence on you, they will throw
Correct.
challenges at you, let you be successful.
Yes, so accepting challenges will be the one you would like to
Right.
tell.
Absolutely, because people say change is the only thing consistent in life. So, constant in life. So it's more always you will be thrown up on a new challenge. You have to adapt it,
Mhm.
accept it, and
Correct.
try what best that you can give. Success comes automatically.
Wow, good, nice. What exactly is diversity and inclusion in your words?
So, what I feel, diversity and inclusions are two opposite things that all of us want to bring them together.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, diversity itself means having the differences. You see country as India as a country, you have a lot of regions, religions, castes, creeds, languages,
Mm-hmm.
ethnicities, specializations, etc. But when you see the recent China India border disputes, though we have a lot of differences, we came all together to talk about India as one. And when someone called off, when the prime minister, or I won't say prime minister, but when people thought of banning the Chinese apps, we all stood together and we contributed to the country's integrity. So that's how the inclusion comes in. So it's more diversity is the differences of opinions, differences of thoughts, differences of things, but inclusion brings them together. Can be disability, it can be gender, it can be anything that you want to include. Lately people are talking a lot about diversity and inclusion, but I have that in my mind since I've been a person with disability.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to a small function in the villages, because I am diversity person having a disability which is not so obvious for let rest of the people. Maybe I was asked to sit at a place, and I was not being allowed, or not, people are not so comfortable to have me sit together with them to have lunches or dinner. They bring them to my chair and give it. So
Oh,
that's not inclusion. So because you have a disability, you have diversity attribute, you are not included, that's not the right thing. So whatever that we're trying to do today is more trying to include different disabilities, or genders, or religions, regions, creeds, castes, languages, etc. So inclusion is more how you let people being themselves,
mm-hmm.
being more more confident, more be on their own abilities. So you don't
Correct.
define their abilities, let them be with their abilities, just giving some additional comforts in terms
Mm-hmm.
of, say, let me put it very simple. Few years back, when I was working in Cognizant, I had to work for a customer in Chennai, and I was deputed to Chennai for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So every day, when we come out for lunch, we used to stand under a tree and we talk. And we are 5 to 6 teammates. All of them
Mm-hmm.
are from Tamil Nadu, and obviously their native language is Tamil, and they used to speak in Tamil.
Correct.
And
Yes.
I was the only one not from Tamil background.
Oh.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's not their intention to exclude me, but when people have their same attributes of, in this case, the language, they tend to speak in Tamil, and they don't realize, or it's an unbiased thing that they exclude me. So it can be
Mm-hmm.
as simple as that. But if they speak in English, I would have been included in their conversations.
Correct.
So as
Yes.
simple as that. So similarly for disability also, it's more people psychological thing or emotional thing that. So because I'm speaking to Rakesh, um, if there is something visually you're talking about, if you can explain that in a oral way, it will be more comfortable for people like me to be included. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Correct.
more and definitely inclusion is something that you cannot define, or you cannot have a cookbook. It's more, each individual have their own skills, their own comforts, their own abilities. So each one has to be taken as an individual case to solve the problems of inclusion.
Yeah, we agree that one. So people has to be develop. There should be some development in terms of the inclusion and diversity. I don't know how that comes. We'll see. We'll have to hope for the best, and we have to see how that change will be happening in future.
Definitely, thanks for bringing this question. And I would also urge people to think about inclusion as a phenomena of life, not just a career. So, whenever you see the discussions of diversity and inclusion,
Mm-hmm.
you take a non-profit organization and then go to a IT company or any other organization to talk about diversity and inclusion. I
Mm-hmm.
believe this has to be discussed at a schooling level, or at a society level, than talking it as a part of your tick mark HR policy or as a DNI in your organization. So yeah, definitely organization is one area to look at, but it's not all.
Yes. So, Rakesh, one other question is like, if anyone wants to choose the career as accessibility consultant, or they just wanted to write some blog or something, what skills they should have?
So because accessibility is not independent by itself, so if you take web accessibility or digital accessibility, so people might have to know the basics of bridging the internet, a bit of assistive technologies. So how it's more about, again, going back to sensitization of peoples and their disabilities. So knowing how a person with disability uses different technologies, having that knowledge will be wonderful benefit.
Mm-hmm.
How a person with hearing challenge sees the video,
Yeah,
what
correct.
challenges that they may have. So
Mm-hmm.
understanding of different disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding of the technologies like basics, or the understanding of HTML, CSS kind of things would be an advantage to have a career in accessibility. So the beauty of accessibility is anyone who does know the basics of browsing, or maybe a standard 10 student or a plus 2 student can even do, provided they have some sort of english because we all do things in English. So English skills and the basic skills of browsing, that should be good enough to start.
Okay, correct. Yes. So, Rakesh, I just wanted to we'll end with the one final question. Any of the we already discussed a lot of thing about the challenges you faced and everything. So can I know who encouraged you or who supported you in terms of your, it can be career or in terms of your schooling time, or anyone anytime? Did you get any support from the society in terms of your disability?
Society is secondary, but the family is primary. And I would definitely say my parents are the ones who encouraged me, and they never stopped me to do anything. So the challenge, at least I hear from a lot of people, especially people with disabilities, is that parents pamper the person with disability. They don't allow them to go out independently. They don't allow them to do this, do that, because they have a disability. So
Mhm.
though my parents are so pampering or more accommodative, they also allowed me to take chances. So who will allow, or who might be confident enough to send a blind person onto a new place? As I said, in 2008 when I came to Hyderabad, just because my parents are confident, or my parents maybe they have even today they might have in the back of their minds, how is he doing, how is he getting through the day-to-day challenges. But because they allowed me to go out, let explore the new challenges, take new chances. My father is more encouraging in terms of, say, if you fail it, no issues. What will happen? You will be even stronger by attempting this next time. Such a
Mhm.
supportive person is he. And my mother, definitely, without her I'm not here.
Correct. Yes.
I would say my parents are the first and foremost encouragement for me, and without them, I am not here.
Yes, seriously. This is something like, I know like every parent will be pampering their kids, but mostly parents should be, first of all, they should be enough strong to face the situations like, disability people, how they will come up. Then only the
Correct.
everyone will be success. This has to be trained to the parents rather than
Exactly.
making kids individually independent or letting them to go free. But seriously, parents has to be taken, they should be enough strong to face all the situations. Really nice to hear that, Rakesh. So any final conclusion you can let us know, or like you will talk?
Yeah, I don't have any final thoughts as such, but definitely, as I said, I would encourage people to be strong when the challenges come in. It's not easy to say, but it's more the strength that you build in yourself, the confidence, the hard work, commitment, and consistency in doing things. You will be
Mhm.
definitely successful. I don't say I'm a successful person. There is a lot of room to improve, a lot of things to do. But I know people who are not having life as I had.
Mhm.
Maybe I can say on behalf of people who want to achieve more, do the hard work. I'm sure a lot of people do hard work, but consistently doing hard work, doing the smartness, doing the things smart and active way, consistently will definitely bring you success.
Wow, thank you so much, Rakesh. It was really nice having you and talking lot of things about the disability and your work profile and the society and everything. Yes, I just wanted to no, we just wanted to know, viewers know that there can be any situations to face life, but you have to be ready to face and prepared. So this sort of videos are like introducing people so that life never ends. It goes on with lot of hurdles. That's it. Yeah, Rakesh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Soumya, for a wonderful opportunity, and I hope to see a lot of people talking with you soon.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.